Sexual assault is an abhorrent evil, yet so many of us are unaware of it happening around us. We don't know about the pervert shopkeeper who fondles his customers under the guise of patting down a suspected shoplifter. We don't know about the drunk girl who had one too many drinks and was raped later in her home by a stranger. We don't know about the high school girlfriend who is repeatedly being molested by her uncle. All these happen every day, but we hopefully move toward a better awareness of these atrocities, laying aside our own tendencies to obfuscate, deny, or enable situations where these things happen so that we can make the world safer for everyone. Hello and welcome to episode 68 of One Man's Opinion, where I review professional theater in New York and across Connecticut. Today I will be reviewing Paula Vogel's unfortunately always timely How I Learned to Drive, presented by the Manhattan Theater Club at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater on Broadway at 261 West 47th Street in New York, starring Mary Louise Parker and David Morse, directed by Mark Brokaw. Having premiered 25 years ago off-Broadway at the Vineyard Theater in New York, I'm both amazed and not amazed by the fact that How I Learned to Drive had never made it to Broadway before now. It's a sad, gripping, and yes, even funny at times play about Lil Bit, played by Parker, who recounts the years she was groomed and molested by her Uncle Peck, played by Morse. What's emotionally stirring in this production that wouldn't have been present 25 years ago is Parker and Morse's ages. Mary Louise Parker is now 57, which would have made her 32 at the time of the original production, and Morse is 68, making him 43 at the time. But with this being a memory play where Lil Bit recounts everything that happened to her as a child, the age gap carries a deeper level of haunting. Lil Bit is never going to recover from what happened during those 8 years of her life, and when the moments of molestation and grooming happen on stage, Parker's performance moves mountains with her expression of worn-out despair as she reflects on what happened to her. I admire hers and Morse's courage and trust on stage. The two coming back to revisit this piece after so long is a testament of what real communication and acting chemistry is all about. As actors, I feel for the both of them and the dark pits of human being that they have to travel to in order to pull this show off 8 times a week. But what's more important to me for this play, especially in our current time, is what goes on with the supporting characters played by Johanna Day, Alyssa May Gold, and Chris Myers. The aunt who deflects blame from her husband onto Lil Bit. The circle of family members at the dinner table who joke about how everyone's nicknames are inspired by their genitalia. The mixed messages given to Lil Bit on how to address her budding womanhood by her grandmother, mom, and aunt. Most people have never committed a sexual crime, but we know how horrible it is that it happens through personal experience or secondhand experience. But it's those abetting roles that sometimes we don't even know we're committing that we have to look out for, and not to enable those who commit sexual crimes. That's what makes Vogel's play so brilliant. She shows us the complicit behaviors, and inadvertent as it may end up being, that enables sexual predators to get what they're looking for. How I Learned to Drive should make you uncomfortable. It's disturbing, it's visceral, it's ever so delicately directed by Brokaw and performed by Parker and Morse. But if we look at the finer details of this ever so unfortunately important play, we can discover where we are lacking in our behavior, in what we say and what we choose to ignore, so that we can all be better in protecting one another. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you're interested in seeing How I Learned to Drive, I'll leave a link in the description below. Please help support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell for alerts to future reviews. My next review will be the Broadway production of Martin McDonagh's Hangmen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the theater.